Hello and welcome back to my channel. DanielPSpillsTheTea and welcome to a new episode of Daniel P Spills the Tea. In this series, I will be addressing and exposing the issues within the industry from my own personal experience. I am here to share my journey with you as a fashion stylist with 7 years experience. No fakeness, no bullshit, but with good intention. So if this is something that you might be interested in, subscribe to my channel now. On my channel, you will find behind the scenes videos, fashion edits, red carpet roast and reviews, I know you've seen a few of them, and the occasional vlog. And to see more of my work, make sure you follow me on Instagram. Now for today's video, I will be spilling the tea on influencers, media, and PR. So stick around till the end so you don't miss a drop. You can like this video at any time and make sure you comment below because I do read them and I am more than happy to discuss anything further there. Also, if you have any ideas, any other topics that you would like me to elaborate on, you can leave it in the comments as well. There's also a fly in here, so disclaimer, there's a very high chance of it landing on or around me. So just a warning. So as I said, I have 7 years experience working as a fashion stylist within the industry in Melbourne, Australia. Over this time, things have changed, things have developed, social media became extremely influential, and it changed a lot of factors. Unlike makeup artists, models, even photographers who are easily celebrated on social media, it can be a bit tricky for a stylist, especially someone like myself who doesn't necessarily style for social media, nor do I have a very exuberant personality. I have a personality, but I'm not one to feel comfortable enough to just flaunt it. I guess that's just my generation, it's my age, which I'm obviously showing. It just sometimes seems a little bit unnatural. Also being like riddled with anxiety doesn't help me to get in front of this camera today. It's taken, God, what? The past 2 to 3 days, if not year and a half. One thing that I would say really dictates not only social media, but media in general is public relations. PR, so public relations, is essentially there to promote a person, a place, a product, etc. Social media is obviously the biggest platform to do so. As I mentioned, people promote themselves on social media as well as PR agents or publicists doing the same thing for a person, whether they be an influencer, a model, makeup artist, and some stylists. Yeah, some stylists are heavily PR'd in our industry. Obviously, I'm not. I am self-promoting. I don't feel like I am easily marketed. The local industry is extremely influenced by females. I don't want to go too off topic, but I was once myself told that if I wanted to succeed in our industry, I had to be the gay best friend that every girl wants. I may be if you get to know me, but that is not necessarily all I am, nor it is the box I kind of want to be shoved into. I just don't think it's authentic, and I personally am not, like I said, an over-the-top, exuberant, camp kind of person. I do like pink, but that's just not me at the end of the day. And I was like, right, okay, so basically I have to be someone that I'm not. There's the fly. You bastard. So that's when I was like, okay, I guess I have to be someone I'm not if I want to get noticed and therefore succeed in my career. I don't know, it was a bit of a sad thought. But listen, that hasn't stopped some other people. There are a lot of people that I feel like amplify their personality, and not to say they're fake. Not everyone is. Some people just amplify it because they're able to get recognized and noticed a lot easier. Obviously, yes, they get attention from their viewers and from people on social media, people in the industry, so potential employers, etc. They'll notice someone like that, whether they're being authentic or not, they're still deemed attractive to a client. A lot of these people, yes, can be coming off reality TV shows. That's a way to get like an instant audience, basically. If you're smart, you'll be coming off reality television with a product or a service to then be promoting. I guess in the same sort of category, we have WAGs. Listen, I don't understand it personally. I don't understand why they become necessary. And all I can put it down to is that they are validated. They are validated by an audience on social media. They are validated by PR. They are validated by companies that want them to promote their product. This happens literally all the time up until yesterday. I was speaking to a client that was telling me they're going to be sending their product to a certain WAG, someone that I've worked with before, and I didn't quite understand where the asset was coming from. Definitely wasn't one of the nicest or thoughtful or considerate people that I'd ever had the opportunity to work with. The only reason people would want to attach themselves to this person is because they're validated. Speaking of validation, you also have people within our industry, so my peers and fellow creatives, and there are a lot. There are a lot in Melbourne, but Australia-wide, there are heaps. And you just see them all getting sifted into like a hierarchy. So you have your beginners and your startups who are just full of drive. I remember being there, albeit 7 years ago, well, probably around 8 years ago. And then you've got people that obviously are working in the industry. These are people that aren't necessarily plastering themselves over social media. It shouldn't be deciding who is the best in our industry just based on popularity at the end of the day. And then of course you've got all the creatives that you know by name, by face, you know who they've worked with, who their clients are. Now, not to undermine them at all and say that it is all based on their ability to promote themselves the right way. It's definitely part of it. A few creatives that have succeeded actually have a PR background, which is incredible. I wish I had. I do see that as an asset and a very smart business tactic. Now, some of these popular creatives also all know each other and have all come from, I guess, the same clique. They've all worked with similar people in the industry as well, kind of just piggybacked on each other or schmoozed their way into this group of people and therefore get noticed. Again, social media allows them to have selfies together, to go on Instagram stories together, everyone gets tagged, and then they kind of get associated by that. And once again, there are a lot of people that I know in this popular breed of creatives that I know, but you wouldn't know, because I don't necessarily go to events, make sure I have a photo with them so I can share it on my social media and be seen associating with them. I just think it's really tacky, and I think it's underappreciating your own self-worth, really, if you can only see that you are important if you're standing next to another important person. You've also got people that have been rather, what's the word? People that have been rather blessed and fortunate in their upbringing. That's the best way to put it. A lot of my setbacks have been due to financial issues. Everything I do is self-funded and on a very, very, very modest budget. As you know, I work in retail as well. If you don't, check out my vlogs, you'll understand. And there are some people that haven't had to worry about any of this. They've had all the time in the world, really, to network and to do things possibly for free, whereas most creatives have to and should be putting a fee forward. Otherwise, why would we get booked? But if people have the option to kind of go, oh, listen, I know this is going to help my exposure, so I'm going to do it for free, and I'm going to take mummy and daddy's credit card and fly to New York Fashion Week, or take out all my favorite influencers out to dinner to Nobu, and next minute they've hit 10K followers from nothing and they're somebody. If they say they are a certain figure in the industry, whether they be a stylist, makeup artist, whatever, the industry will go, oh, well, I guess you are because you're hanging out with so-and-so and you're going to these events and you have a strong following on social media. So yes, we will book you to do very elite jobs within the industry, and therefore the rest of us kind of get left out. No, I'm not having a whinge. This is just a warning to anyone that's coming into the industry thinking that it's easy, because it's not. You have to sacrifice a lot, and some people have to sacrifice who they are. And I decided not to. This fly, honestly, the fly is gone. Where was I? I know I'm focusing on creatives, but this definitely applies to influencers as well. Some people have goals to go into television and presenting or into some other category of work, and firstly feel the need to have a presence on social media, and they will do basically anything to get that. They will also use anyone they can to get that. So in a whole, really, you've got a bunch of people climbing the ladder, scrambling over the top of each other, all to get to the same place. You just have a few of us that are willing to do it with a little bit more dignity. I'm not talking about people I respect and admire, because there are plenty in my industry that are successful and well known that I respect and admire, and I think they're incredible. But then there's a few weeds in the middle of them that I'm like, no, you need to be yanked out. Go away. There's people that I've known, including myself, that have been working so hard and for quite a long time to make an impression in this industry. Just when we think that we're getting opportunities and success is near, and by success I mean recognition from our peers, from clients, having our work credited, really, that's all we want, is a bit of validation. Just when we think it's our turn, no, someone new who's just, you know, been seen out with such and has so many followers on Instagram, apparently it's their turn. Where you been for the past decade? Now, I'm not trying to bury anyone and I'm not putting all the blame on these individuals because do you know what? It's all being validated by PR and the media. Not only social media, but by the media. The general public are quite happy being told who to like, who to follow, and who's cool, who's not. And I think it's kind of stupid, really. I am constantly shocked by how many times I'm talking to someone about a celebrity or might be someone popular in our industry and they'll be saying negative things about them and I'll go, do you follow them on Instagram? And they'll go,
oh yeah.
But why? I don't get it. I like to curate my feed so it's full of people and things that I like to see daily, and if I don't, I block them or I unfollow them. Simple as that. So I've grown very tired of PR and media validating personality and social status over skill and experience. And I know a lot of other people are over it too. If you're one of those people, let me know, comment below. I don't think it's fair and I just think it's really backwards. A very simple example is I don't get invited to really any events. It is VAMP, which is Melbourne Fashion Week, in about 2 weeks, and I've never been invited. I've never really been asked to do anything substantial for it either, whether it be styling clients. I think I have styled one in 7 years, which is also really disheartening because I just at the end of last year did a unpaid shoot for the Herald Sun and for the PR company to promote this fashion week. Then crickets. But guess who are getting invited to these fashion shows? That's right, you guessed it. Influencers, the popular people, and reality TV stars now, apparently. I went to an event a while back and there was this couple that were acting like total nongs in front of me during a speech that was, you know, commemorating the event. And I said to my friend, I'm like, what is with these people? And she was like,
oh, they're off maths, Married at First Sight.
Which I don't watch. Obviously, I mean, that's Exhibit A right there. And I was just like, why are they here? Guzzling all the free booze, eating all the free food. And you could tell they were acting like, this is a joke. Who are we? What are we doing here? Let's just make the most of it. I mean, I guess good for them in the end. Why am I here? It was almost insulting by association. And I've been to more events as a +1 to someone I'm styling. They'll be getting invited to these fashion related events and I'll be their +1. Obviously the stylists that are getting invited have more social media followers, and I understand that PR then have to tell their clients, okay, cool, here's the guest list. This is the reach you're gonna get from the event because of our invite list. And I totally get it, that's business. But then I completely get conflicted with the fact that it's creating this fake crowd that doesn't quite match the event. I heard a designer saying like, I remember the good old days when, you know, you could invite people to your fashion show, but also you know everyone there because they're people that you work with in the industry. And now you look at the front row and they were saying they're like, I don't know who half the people are because these are people that don't work in our industry. Let's take it back. Let's go old school where our industry was celebrated within the industry and it wasn't so dictated by how many followers you have, who you know, are you cool enough, are you exuberant, do you have money? Ugh. I'm really hoping that something is going to change. And if you want it to change too, share this video and tell your friends. Now, one trickle-down effect that is happening with the influence of PR and media is stylists are kind of getting eliminated. Back in the day, brands and PR agencies would be contacting me directly to send me lookbooks, inquire if I need any samples for shoots or dressing. Now it is completely driven by social media, by followers, by the influencers, instead of me receiving samples a season. So I have a full rack that I can then use to dress people that are going to events or for photo shoots. The models and influencers, and yes, this is models as well, are literally getting sent free product. As you know, why would they need a stylist? If they've got a free dress, a free pair of earrings, a clutch, and a free pair of shoes, what am I supposed to bring to the table? I get it, it's business, but this is something that I don't think people in PR and media really understand, that it is affecting people's jobs. Not to say that if I don't ask for a lookbook, etc., that I don't get it. Of course I do. Sometimes I'm asked first who I'm dressing. Even though I have got what I would hope to believe a valuable reputation within my industry, I still get asked by some people what it's for, where's it going, blah, blah, blah. And then I've inquired about loaning a few samples and I get told, oh, sorry, no, there's basically not enough product in the showroom. Girl, I just saw your showroom on Miss Thing's Instagram stories and it is full. You've got about 3 of each style. So you're lying. If these girls are getting stuff sent to them and they have a free outfit to wear, why would they need a stylist? Why would they book me at the end of the day? They wouldn't. And guess what? They don't. But then what also happens is you then see photos from events or even just their Instagram page and you see their outfits that they've been given, and because they haven't styled them properly, they look pretty basic. It is pretty funny sometimes. You're just like, oh, well, that was clearly a free pair of shoes that came the same week as this free dress. And guess what? They don't match. They weren't supposed to go together. Listen, some girls fucking nail it. So I'm not saying this on a whole, but it's there. It's apparent, it's happening. Now, I've mentioned the untold conversation between a stylist and a PR company or a media agency. I can be dressing a client, or I could be pulling for like a commercial shoot. My client will want to know what it is I'm thinking about, but I can't really show them till the last minute because I don't know if I'm gonna get it. It might not be available, or the PR will say no. I don't have the freedom to really approach and make use of most of Australian designers and brands that I really, really love because I just get told no because they have samples reserved for figures in the media. I could literally just be asking for a lookbook just to have on file throughout the season so I can reference it and they'll go, who are your clients? It's not what I was asking. I just want a PDF file. I'm not going to be violating it. I literally just need it for reference because I am a fashion stylist and that's what fashion stylists do. Why should my value as a stylist be dictated by my client? I get it. Generally it is. But when it comes to my relationship with a brand or a designer, I'd like to think that me as a person and as a brand is enough to go, do you know what? We trust you. We like your style, you have good taste, and you do good work, and you're respectful, etc. All those good things that I've tried to inhabit over the past 7 years, all that's thrown out the window because it's like, but who are you dressing? Sometimes I feel like lying and just being like, I don't know, Bella Hadid. Although you can't take it personally, I know this sounds like I'm contradicting myself, this is mainly me pointing out that it's an issue. Be aware of it if you're coming into the industry, or if you strongly feel like this is an issue for yourself, then speak up. Because maybe one day it will stop. So you can imagine my frustration when I get told no and then people that I've styled in the past, whether they be a model or an influencer, then wearing the said label that told me no and gave them free product. Sometimes the only reason they know this person is on brand for them is because, hello, I've dressed them in the brand before, tagged everyone on social media, obviously the client's then gone on to do the same, then I've been cut out of the middle because the brand's now gone directly to the model or the influencer and gone,
we loved you in our dress, do you want some free stuff?
How am I supposed to do my job if I'm getting undercut? That needs to stop. Now, I've had a bit of a ramble, but like I said, I'm not placing blame on anyone. I'm just pointing things out and shedding light on them. But really, when you think about it, who is to blame? Who is it? Is it the PR and media agents that adopt that mentality? Is it the influencers for fueling it? Or the audience for encouraging it? That's right, every time you double tap an influencer's photo, wearing a frock, asking where it's from, that is you guys encouraging it. So when my likes have gone down and my followers have gone down, people that I've worked with in the past have increased. And part of that reason is because they get product to then put together and put out as content, but also they get reposted by the brands who tag them. Now these brands obviously have a huge audience established already, and then that audience goes to the influencers page, likes their stuff. I think the focus needs to be shifted from influencers over to professionals in the industry. You don't necessarily see an influencer getting a free makeup palette. You see makeup artists getting makeup palettes and then they use it on their clients and in tutorials or whatever it may be. But why aren't fashion stylists receiving fashion product? A lot of female ones are. So another thing, which is a separate video, is what it's like being a man in a woman's industry. Now I have worked with a lot of influencers. I was working heavily during the time where influencers becoming a new thing. It was like an uprising. I didn't really know what was going on. I didn't quite understand what it would lead to or the future issues that I'd be facing. And the thought of collaborating with them at the time and getting exposure through that, like PR agents do by sending their product, I was a brand that I was associating myself with people to help increase my audience. But what I quickly realized is that no, foolish man, I was the one that was getting used. I was creating content by shooting all of these influential models, styling them for events and getting them noticed on media walls, and also getting them tagged in the brand's Instagram posts. Sometimes I wouldn't get tagged even though I was the one that put them in it. The general audience more likely follow the person wearing the dress, not the person that put them in the dress. So you may be a fan of the look, but you're giving all the credit to the person wearing it and not the person that thought of it. So if you're going to work with influencers, and again, this is through my own experience, you are going to be used as a stepping stone. They'll form a relationship with the brands themselves and ta-da, stylist, boy, you're cut out. The first time I realized this was happening, I was approaching the girls and going, there's all these events coming up that I know you'd be going to. When am I seeing you? What are we going to do? And they'll go,
oh, actually, I got sent all this stuff, so I'll just dress myself.
Fair enough. You do also end up creating a relationship and a friendship with these people, and you think there's trust and loyalty and longevity, but there really isn't. Most of them are out for themselves. They've got their own goals. They're not going to carry you with them. You're the only person that's going to get you to where you need to be. You can't expect things from anyone else. Listen, if it happens, you're surrounded with people loyal and kind enough to refer you for jobs and keep you around and make sure that you're working as much as they are, then you are blessed. Keep those people around. I remember having hope back in the day, and I really thought that me giving my time to all these people would keep me, I guess, on their level, sort of ascending along with them, but that's not the case. If anything, it made me really bitter at the industry. It made me very upset and disappointed, and it also made me realize everything I've said so far came to light and became a bit more obvious to me when I really sat and was like, what is happening? Why is it happening? And how can we stop it? Listen, I don't know how we can stop it, but I'm gonna talk about it. I've also had my work stolen by the media and publications. So Daily Mail, The Age, for example, have actually taken photos that I've created with these personalities and have published them along with an article that, yeah, of course, is promoting the personality and not myself. I'm getting nothing out of it. And it leads me to think, are they stealing these images from socials, from Facebook? I don't know. Are they having a Google? Are they coming up in searches? Or are the personalities actually giving them the images because they know it's going to promote them? I have asked them before, and most of them have been sincerely shocked, and they're like, I had no idea, I didn't know what was going on, or they told me you'd get credited, and sometimes, very rarely, I will, and they'll spell my name wrong. Granted, it's a bit difficult, but come on, you're a journalist. Some beautiful people actually let me know beforehand and go, they actually want to use your image that we created for a cover. You will be credited. And I'm like, do you know what? You've let me know. That's fine. It wasn't like a publication that they profit on. So I was like, yeah, cool, no worries. But thank you for letting me know. A lot of people don't. And I'll just see it and I'll go, what the F is happening? Then they'll make me believe that they had no idea. And a lot of them are really bad at doing that. And I'm just like, no, you knew and you didn't care, really. Now back to social media quickly. Now that the Instagram like count is gone, how do you think it's changed? Comment below. I personally think that they should be getting rid of the follower count. Who cares about a like count? If someone's got hundreds of thousands of followers, of course they're going to be getting a substantial amount of likes. I don't care which photo got more likes than another, but you know that they're still getting traffic. And obviously the algorithm of Instagram is still putting their posts up high. So you obviously know that they're still popular. Why would you not remove the Instagram follower count? That way we have no idea how successful people are on social media because we can no longer see the number. Therefore, it will no longer dictate the industry. Therefore, the PR and media agents and the clients will not be enticed, I guess, by these numbers to ensure that this specific group of people are getting chosen to have opportunity in our industry. Now, the reason this affects me personally, I can give you a perfect example, is that I have actually been demoted from a job because of a follower count. So there was a 2-day shoot. First day was campaign, second day was social. They had a different stylist for each day because they were a new brand and they weren't quite sure who to work with. So they were like, cool, we'll work with each person. I was originally booked for the campaign day, which was day 1. Started prepping, and then it was a quick change to, oh no, wait a second, you'll be doing the social media shoot the next day. Keep in mind, the social media shoot was not with a professional model. It wasn't in a studio. Really, it was quite amateur. I get like you're a new brand and you don't know who to work with, but do a bit of research because the other person you're working with hasn't been a stylist as long as I have, nor did they have a folio like mine, or the experience that I would believe on set would be of value to you. I did just blatantly ask the client. I was like, what was the reason why I got swapped to social? And they were like, well, because the other stylist has more Instagram followers than you and has more engagement on social media. Therefore, it's going to help promote our brand because it is a new brand. And I was like, I get it. I appreciate your honesty and where that sort of business tactic is coming from. But then I was like, I guess this is reality. I have to accept that I'm not Instagram friendly because of my personality. I don't get booked within my industry based on my experience and my skill. Okay. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Once again, I encourage you all to comment below. Please let me know if there's any topic I've touched on that you would like me to elaborate on. If you haven't already, like the video and subscribe to my channel. Yes, there will be more of these videos and some special guests appearing very soon. Also, if you're in the industry and you feel this would be of value or interest to anyone else, please share this with your peers. Share it in a group message on your Instagram story. If you have a similar opinion or thoughts to mine, I think it's really good that we talk about it and really get exposure on these issues that I feel are very apparent in the creative industry at the moment, and I don't necessarily wish them to continue. But thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Bye. I am here to share with you my own. Why can't I speak? I am here with. Now for why is it so hard to read the words that you wrote yourself? I don't understand. It's because they're here. Well, that's done.